Hey Larry, how are you today?
Good, Tina. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
So, Larry, why don't you tell me about your community in State College, Pennsylvania, which I'm so excited to hear more about because I was there years and years ago. But Larry has lived and worked there as a realtor for a long time and has such great insight on what's going on there. So, Larry, take it away.
Yeah, well, thank you, Tina, for the invitation to do this. As you just mentioned, we know each other from a previous life. You and your husband Dominic used to
Mhm.
live in State College, Pennsylvania, which is the home of Penn State University, smack dab in the middle of Pennsylvania. Your husband Dominic was an attorney with McQuaid Blasco.
Mhm.
That's my favorite real estate firm for real estate in State College. State
Yeah.
College's largest firm, but yeah, State College for the people who may watch this. This town exists because of Penn State University.
Mhm.
Everything here is all about Penn State University. We have a number of other employers, but they're smaller. We don't have any major corporations in the area.
Mhm.
Um, so, for our industry, thank goodness for Penn State. We're a population of about 150,000 greater State College area. If you count kind of the suburbs.
Mhm.
I've been in real estate. I grew up in State College. My father was a professor at Penn State. I went to Penn State, met my wife at Penn State, and we decided it was a pretty nice place to live and raise children and to work. So I've been in real estate now. I just celebrated my 30th year in real estate.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Before we started this call, I mentioned the word dinosaur. I'm feeling a little bit like a dinosaur. Probably don't utilize social media the way I should and do some other things the way that I should. But, State College is a small town. So how I've done my business over the years is try to be effective at developing, I guess, what we call our sphere of influence. And
Mhm.
even before I got into real estate, I worked for the university for about 5 years and was very involved in the community. And I've continued that throughout my career, and I enjoy doing it. It's one thing to do it to develop your sphere, but also I tell people in our business to find a couple things that you're passionate about and get involved in them, and then oh, by the way, you'll increase your sphere of influence. But State College, I don't have any wood to knock on close to me, Tina, but it's been a healthy market. We're not a market that has high peaks and low valleys, but
Mhm.
we're a market that I describe as kind of just a healthy, sustainable. It just keeps chugging along at a rate that's kind of like our population. Our population goes up by a point to a point and a half annually, and our real estate market is about the same. A typical year for us is up 1 to 4%. Our best year ever was the post-COVID. I call it the crazy period. I think the whole country, experienced the same thing, or a lot of the country did. I mean, I guess Manhattan didn't because there was an exodus from communities like that, I think, migrating to communities like State College that might be a little bit more rural, where people were working out of their homes. We had people asking for, two-study homes. But I like to turn back the clock and tell the story of the last time we had a little bit of a market downturn, the 2008 through 2012. During that 5 year span, our market was only down 1 year. 2009 was kind of our worst year
Mhm.
since my 30 years, and our market was down a little bit over 8% that year. But cumulatively, the world then started going south about the third quarter of '08. And if you combine '08 through 12, our market was net up that 5 year period. And I don't think there's a lot of markets that can say that. So it's
Right.
just been a safe place to invest in real estate.
So tell me about the people that are moving to State College. Has it been the same? Is it families? Is it students that are buying or families of students that are buying or what's happening there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated by what drives our market, and just one small example. Shout out to Penn State this last weekend. They just won their 11th national championship in wrestling out of like the last 13 years. So they're as close to a dynasty as there is in sports right now, I think. But so these Penn State is something called the Penn State Wrestling Club, and all these wrestlers, when they graduate college, they still want to train for the Olympics or international competitions, and they need to find a place to do that. And Penn State Wrestling Club is a large group. You'd be surprised how large it is. And these wrestlers migrate to State College to wrestle
Mhm.
with and train partially under Cale Sanderson, who's the head coach of
Mhm.
Penn State, and then also under these multiple time NCAA winners. And I've been fortunate, to help a number of them over the years.
Mhm.
Um, we have a huge population of what I call Penn State home away from home. I have friends who, I said I visited one of them in Naples when I was down there last week, Tina. And he lives in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania,
Mhm.
and he wanted a place here for 7 home football games and a few other choice weekends. So that is a huge part of our market where
Mhm.
people buy real estate, and in some cases, very expensive real estate,
Mhm.
just to visit their, where they grew up or their alma mater.
Right.
So the Penn State home away from home is a large part of our market. And then also with the transient nature of Penn State, I'm a little bit surprised. People coming to get their MBA or a master's or certainly a PhD,
Mhm.
they choose to buy real estate instead of renting in our market.
Wow.
The lines are starting to cross a little bit there. State College has become, it's not Naples expensive, but it's become a little, some people experience a little bit of sticker shock when they move to our market, that they view State College in central Pennsylvania as a rural market, but it's not inexpensive. So people getting their master's degrees anymore. It used to be that in 2 years you'd be safe to buy and sell, and you'd cover your transactional cost and then some.
Mhm.
So it was a good investment instead of renting for 24 to 36 months. And the other segment, other than the normal working population, the other segment that really drives our market is Penn State has the largest dues paying alumni association of any university in the country.
Yeah.
And despite our less than perfect climate, those wacky Penn State alums are moving back here in droves, in
That's great.
droves. And
Yeah.
then some of them go to places like where you live or Arizona for
Mhm.
2 to 4 to 5 months out of the year. But the over 55 community is the demographic that's been growing most rapidly around here. Although having said that, I still feel like we have a young, healthy, vibrant population with our 46 to 48,000 students running around.
Yeah, I remember that actually the 55 plus community growing when I was still there because of all of the continuing education opportunities. And there's just a lot of things for retirees to do in State College in Happy Valley. So yeah, that's great. So what has changed? I mean, it's been I think 15 years since I was there. So what's changed in the past 15 years?
Well, a number of things have changed. I mean, when you were here, Joe Paterno was still head coach, and
Right?
his coaching staff had been here for 50 years, 50 to 60 years. And that world, the athletics world, is completely different. I don't need to tell you or anybody else.
Right.
Now it's the athletic department has become very transient. The students with name, image, and likeness, and the transfer portal, students, are coming and going, and the desire or the importance of winning, fortunately or unfortunately, is, people want it now.
Hmm.
And Penn State athletics is such a big economic driver. We're just about ready to do another expansion on our stadium.
Wow.
I could let you know all the projects going on campus right now
Mhm.
with regard to athletics, and it's just incredible. So, that has changed
Mhm.
dramatically the face of athletics. As far as our little downtown State College, Tina, what
Mhm.
they did there is they loosened the height restriction.
Oh,
State
yeah.
College
Mhm.
has seen a massive redevelopment. What they did is they, just in round numbers, they loosened the height restriction from about 100 feet to 150 feet
Mhm.
to create some new economic tax base. And so State College has been bulldozed and gone up higher. Still our tallest building is 15 floors, but if you were to compare the skyline of State College 15 years ago to today, it's just
Mhm.
completely different. And I have very mixed feelings about it. I think the total economic development crested $1 billion in downtown in the last year. I kind of miss the fabric of what our downtown State College was. But then on the other hand, to see the tremendous economic development in our community also is
Mhm.
nice, because all that economic development, of course, has sub benefit. Those people who work on these 15-story buildings, some of them move into State College, and
Mhm.
certainly support our restaurants and shopping centers and things like that. So, certainly the economic benefit has been strong. And then the other thing, which is interesting economically here, the industry that's growing most rapidly by far is our medical industry. We have our main hospital is called the Mount Nittany Medical Center. They are almost complete with a new outpatient hospital out by a community called Toft Trees. Large building. It looks like another hospital.
Wow.
And then I'm looking at the crane out my office window. They have broken ground for a 10-story patient tower. Everybody wants single rooms, whether it's college dorm rooms or it's hospital rooms. People want single rooms. So when you used to drive into State College from any direction, once you hit the valley, we're surrounded by 3 mountain ranges. Sorry for people who live in Colorado. We call them mountains, maybe they're hills, but and then you enter into, our nickname is Happy Valley here in the State College area. But the primary landmark was always Beaver Stadium. That's when you knew you hit State College and Happy Valley. But when this 10-story patient tower is done, it sits on the highest hill in State College. That's going to be our primary landmark. And then a couple other things. Geisinger, which is a large medical provider, their home base, their mothership is about an hour and a half north in Danville, but they're going to build another facility. And then we've had another medical provider called Penn Highlands, based out of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, enter our market. And they're just completing a 35-bed micro hospital close to where our Wegmans is. That's something new, Tina, in the last 15 years is we have a Wegmans now, which everybody's fired up about.
That Wegmans, it was new when I was there.
Yeah. Okay. They must adjust, but yeah, everybody's so excited about Wegmans coming, but, so a lot going on. Yeah. A lot going on that all adds to drive our economy. We've built some new athletic facilities around. We've built a 100-acre athletic park over off of Whitehall Road. And what, by virtue of our central location in Pennsylvania, we think we're a natural to host a lot of state tournaments and championships. But we've never had the facilities. So we're catching up on the facilities, and each one of those tournaments, just has a huge economic impact on, this weekend. My wife and I we got back Saturday from our trip down close to you, but Sunday we tried to go out for breakfast, and there was a line around the corner at every restaurant because this weekend was Greek Parents Weekend at Penn State.
Wow.
So all these parents, all the hotels were sold out, all the restaurants were jam-packed. So each one of those little events is just another economic driver.
That's incredible. So as far as your coverage, your territory, you don't just cover State College, correct? What are the surrounding?
Yeah, I mean, State College is located in Center County, central Pennsylvania. And so I'm looking at a spreadsheet here. We have 5, we search by school district in our market primarily. And so some people move into the area, they might want the State College school system.
Right.
And we have the Bellefonte school system. We probably have 5 school systems which surround State College. And I would say it's a 20-mile radius around State College. And that would be that population number I gave earlier. I mean, my primary market is Center County, but certainly we venture out of Center County. Our multiple listing systems are becoming more regional for sure. Huntington is, about 30 miles from State College. And I would say more real estate is getting listed in the Huntington market with a State College real estate agent versus a Huntington real estate agent. Wow. I think the perception it has greater reach if you're with a State College real estate agent. We have 400 brokers in our market, by the way, right now. And we joined recently Bright, our MLS provider is called Bright, and it is much more regional. So if I go in and search 123 Main Street, I pull up 123 Main Street up and down the East Coast, which is a little bit frustrating, by the way. But anyway, it just shows that it's becoming more regional what we do.
That's great. So I remember when you took me, because you were my realtor when my husband and I bought our house. So it was State College, it was Lamont, it was Bollesburg, right? Like the areas right around it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I always like to say there's a lot of burgs. I call them burgs or villages within State College. Bollesburg is the biggest one. But we search by school system, but then within State College school system, for us, we have Bollesburg, Lamont, Hauserville, Pennsylvania, Furnace, Pine Grove Mills. There's any number of them. And I kind of think of those as neighborhoods or pockets. And some people will move into town. And then, our school system, we have one high school campus, which we redid 4 or 5 years ago. We bulldozed it and built a beautiful new high school. Graduating class this year, I think, is about 675.
Mhm.
We're 6A. They classify Pennsylvania high schools single A, double A. We're 6A, which is the largest. And we have 2 middle schools and we have 8 elementary schools. And some people, when they move into town, for whatever reason, will want to feed into a specific elementary school or middle school. So then we might focus on, Bollesburg, as an example, feeds into the Mount Nittany Middle School. So some people want that.
Let's talk real quick about anything to do in State College beyond like the university. There's country clubs, there's, what are the extracurricular activities aside from university focused things?
Yeah, I mean, the university offers probably 10 venues ranging from 50 people up to 110,000 people. We're having concerts at Beaver Stadium.
Yeah.
It's the second largest stadium in the country. Ann Arbor, Michigan has us by a couple seats, but downtown, there are a lot of venues. They redid our State Theater. We love going there whenever we can. They have live entertainment, bands,
Yeah.
old movies are fun to watch there.
Mhm.
And one thing that we have a lot of in this area, if you're into the outdoors activities at all, I
Yeah.
mean, we have some crazy, I should ask my assistant Gretchen, who's sitting over my left shoulder here, how many state parks we have within a half an hour drive. But we have Mount Nittany, which is fun to hike. We have Tussey Mountain, which has trails all over it. So for the outdoors person, we host, I think it's called the Ultra Marathon. We host the Ultra Marathon at Tussey Mountain. It's a 100-mile race.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and you can do it individually or you can do it in teams. We have a marathon in State College now, or a half marathon. So outdoor golf, I mean, that's, if I had to name my one pastime, I like to golf. We have one private country club in State College called Center Hills Country Club. University has 2 courses. We have a number of other ones. So if you like to golf, there's lots of options. YMCA just built a dozen new pickleball courts.
I didn't know that either.
We were a little bit
Pickleball
behind.
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I saw a lot of pickleball courts down in Naples when I was there.
Yeah.
But we're a little behind on the State colleges, I always say, just a little bit behind, on movies, music, pickleball courts, and probably real estate trends as well. When I want to learn what's happening or coming to State College, sometimes I'll tune into a market like where you live, Tina, or California, and you can, black kitchens are becoming popular, I guess, but they haven't quite hit State College yet. And modern farmhouse, that style has finally reached State College, where it was popular in other markets earlier.
Design trends, yeah, definitely. Well, I am so glad that you agreed to come on, Larry. This was so fun.
Yeah, well, it's fun. I like talking about our market. A big part of what I do is, give area tours. I'm sure you do the same, Tina, but like
Definitely.
Penn State's hiring a new professor, the school business will call me and I'll give a tour to 3 professors for every one position they hire, something like that. And, I get to drive them around State College and brag about State College and Happy Valley and what it's like living here. So, yeah.
It's a beautiful place, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can come visit you soon.
Yeah, I hope you do. I mean, climate's a little frustrating at times. Weather's a little frustrating at times, but if you enjoy the seasons, I mean, you get to appreciate, some, fall and spring are my favorite seasons in State College. Fall partially because that's when football season is, but winter's a little frustrating, and unless you like winter sports, but it makes you appreciate the spring, I think.
Summer arts festivals.
Oh yeah, summer, lots going on in State College, the Grange Fair. So
Yeah, so fun. Well, thank you, and I hope for everybody out there, this gives you some perspective on Central Pennsylvania and what's happening and what's out there. So connect with Larry. He's at Kissinger, Bigetel, and Bauer, right?
Kissinger, Bigetel, and Broward Realtors, yep, State College. Well, thanks for the time, Tina. Please tell Dominic I said hello.
Absolutely. Good to chat with you.